Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ironside cast with me Matt, where we have a 3v50 roll here on the fields of Kendunk on the Western Front. Let's go for the Western Allies first. We have Nickel as the British Commonwealth without a commander choice yet. We have Lenerus straight out the gate with Ranger Company. And finally we have B4 Eagle as Rifle Company straight out the gate. And starting with the Blue and Grey, a cheaper alternative rifleman if you're playing as Rifle Company. Represent the Axis today. We have Deviant, that's how you say it. As the Mechanism, the tactics of the Waffen-SS. We have Popo SK as Strafdivision for the Wehrmacht. And finally, we have Kakaboo without a commander choice yet. Looks like the Americans already engaging with the Waffen-SS on the northern flank. Here by the northern field point. Although I've obviously twisted the map, so it's the Western Front, probably. The British is going to be engaging with more of the Waffen-SS here, and so far it's working out thanks to their Bren gun. That early Bren gun should not be underestimated at all. You know, the Americans are going to engage with the Wehrmacht at the center. Going for a Staff Division means we might see some Strafttruppen arriving later on, some German penal troopers. But Americans are securing ground. We have lots of Blue and Grey coming onto the field. As previously mentioned, cheap alternative riflemen if you are playing as Rifle Company. Much lower quality, however. But an M1 Garand is an M1 Garand. Even if the guy using it doesn't have as much training as the normal rifleman. Looks like the British have gone for commander, they've gone for Royal Mechanized. The Guards Armored, dealing with some 9th Grenadiers here. Another cheap alternative unit you can get if you're playing as Mechanized Theater. So Mechanized Theater versus Mechanized. So they're mirroring each other down there, so to speak. Well, the Wehrmacht is having a long-range firefight here with the Americans. Looks like the Americans might win out on this one. They're trying to get close here with some folks, Grenadiers, but they get mowed down by the M1 Garands. Oh! And actually lose the squad. Riflemen are very dangerous because of the M1 Garands. Semi-automatic rifles are a very big deal when you're fighting with the Americans. You know, the Blue and Grey are assaulting up here against some Hitler Youth. Looks like Kakaboo has gone for Panzer. But moving on to Blue and Grey easily. Blue and Grey, I believe, are considered easier to hit because they're considered lower quality infantry. So you generally lose a lot of them. So that the Waffen-SS and Grenadiers to support the Wehrmacht here. Grey being tossed here by the rear echelon. Will force those Grenadiers to relocate. Those American pineapple grenades are pretty potent. You have lots of Grenadiers to hold up behind this destroyed field truck. Americans getting some scope rifles to support them. I think that's the unique upgrade to the rifleman if you're playing as US Army Ranger. Gives them a marksman rifle. Lots of Grenadiers still in the field. But the British are holding up down here. They're slowly providing some fire support with their own rifle sections. More Grenadiers are going to be arriving shortly. We have a Panzer against the structure of the farm, but the Americans are still hold up here around the field point. That Panzer might actually have to consider getting out of there. Oh, grenade there on the Germans. Might be a rifle grenade actually. It looks like it was a rifle grenade from one of these riflemen. Rifle grenade in return, but doesn't do much. Pineapple being tossed. That's going to force those Grenadiers off. And the Germans are in full retreat there from the road. Hitler Youth is hold up here. We do have an MT-34 arriving for the Waffen-SS. The northern flank, just as a 30 caliber arrives for the United States. So we might try having a attempt on a grenade assault here from the Storm Pioneers. One building's going to collapse soon because of all the machine gun fire. Grenades being tossed here by the Storm Pioneers. Over the hedgerow. One hits the hedgerow, however. Oh! Oh, that grenade was lethal! Honestly, very lethal. We do have double small mortar running here for the United States, unique to riflemen and some other commanders. Much shorter range, but actually surprisingly useful if you're in close quarters combat. Mechanized Theater arriving here with a half track, but some of the Grenadiers already did. We have a flamethrower on board, so they might do some kind of drive-by with a flamethrower. Mr. Wehrmacht has been able to do an assault here with an MT-42 for support. Grenadiers are suffering heavy losses as they advance out and open the fields. The MT-42 is now operational. Obviously, the Americans still have heavy cover. And the marksman rifles are slowly just taking away at the crew. Yeah, it just doesn't work with all the marksman rifles. Actually killing the crew off entirely. But the Germans have managed to push the Americans off up here thanks to the half-track. Great, the tank raid managed to get off here. It's a sticky bomb. Does minimal damage, but does actually kill the crew inside. We do have a recoilless rifle there, but it missed. Half-track is going to be able to get back despite its mobility damage. Looks like the Germans were paying for an assault here. They have managed to suppress the Americans this time. There is a lot of SS Grenadiers to support the Wehrmacht Grenadiers here. You do have a Jeep Ryan for the United States with a 50 caliber on top. Unique to US Rangers, I think. They get the 50 caliber version. Or let's just get a 30 caliber version. I think others might also get the 50 caliber, but I'm not entirely sure. They killed the gunner though pretty quick. Looks like the Volksgrenadier officer has been forced to move up. Lead by example. And secure ground for the Reich. You know, the British are still holed up down here, getting Boys AT rifles. I think that's the unique upgrade if you are playing as a British mechanized. Surprisingly good anti-tank rifle. Semi-automatic, I believe. I believe it's semi-automatic. And it looks like it is. Fires 55 caliber rounds. So pretty damn big and will stop most German light vehicles. Half-track those advancing up here where there's no thing to stop them apart from this AT gun and a recoilless rifle. Germans might have to get out. Yep, they managed to dip out of the half-track just in time. But they might have to pull back still. MT-42 covers the flank. Going down the British. MT-42 is exceptionally lethal as a weapon when it's set up. And a good position. And here we have the Straftroopen, German penal troopers. Deserters and other criminals being forced to the front line. It can be quite useful, but they cannot capture points. They can capture points. Oh, that's a change. Unless the UI is just not showing me correctly here. As I believe they could just set up booby traps now, unless they've changed that again. No, they do have a scorch. Oh, right, they can scorch points. You can basically destroy a point. So that forces people to have to repair it, but Straftroopen gets mowed down. Americans moving up. The machine gun is gonna get mowed down here. Yep, just cut to pieces. Or German infantry just moving forwards. After trying to push down here, but the boys' AT rifle from the tank under sections forces it back. Back at someone and try and go for that machine gun. And actually they're going for a pineapple grenade, which is so far working out. Once they've cleared out the German infantry, they can try and go for it. They do have a black position being established here by the Waffen-SS. Needs to work fast. Yeah, well, the Panzer forces have secured the northern flank and are digging in, awaiting more reinforcements. Several recoilless rifles still present. Officers being forced to the front line again, with a baby Tiger being prepared. Unique Panzer II, available to a Staff Division, I think. Basically a heavily armored Panzer II. Quite heavily armored, actually. People don't actually realize how potent this thing can be sometimes. We have a mechanized assault here from the Grenadiers with the half-track. Where it's on the flank, but the flag is now covering this area too. So the blue engraving force forwards. Artillery has been called up, is being called in by the Volksgrenadier officer. Stuart light tanks are also being prepared. I'm not sure the Stuarts can fight a baby Tiger, to be honest. I'm sure this AT gun can get a good shot in. And here we have the baby Tiger, just using the normal Lux model. But it's a very up-armored Panzer II, which is also why it's so slow. But that thing can actually brawl pretty well, I believe, against light vehicles. But sure, it's not very fast, as you can see. And yeah, Staff Troops can capture points again. Good to know. I wonder when that change occurred. Panzer II is now in position to start hitting the Americans, but he immediately gets penetrated by a 57mm. It's gonna force it back. Despite its up-armoring, it still has the normal HP of a light tank, so if it gets penetrated, it will mostly get destroyed. Deep covers the flank as more Stuarts being prepared. Are the Americans gonna try and do an armored push up here? The Germans are lacking AT equipment. They don't have a pack back here. That might work. British remain dug in here. We also have some Rangers in the field now. Rangers leaped away, and here comes the American armored push. Several Stuart light tanks are pushing forwards. Using canister rounds. Pack quickly turning a little bit. Bunker will certainly get taken out soon. Pax gets a good shot on one Stuart. You have a command Panzer F1 arriving. Hitler Youth are being cut to pieces. But now there's still the command F1, which can probably take out these Stuarts if it can penetrate. Pack is about to get flanked. Blue and Grey pushes forwards. We do have a squad of Panzerjägers on the field here, but they don't have an angle. Takes out one there. That's to push forward, but the Panzer Division has lost basically all its infantry support here. Baby Tiger's being relocated after it's been repaired. We have some Panzer Grenadiers pushing forward, the 10th SS from the Mechanisierte. Unique Panzer Grenadiers available to them. And they're equipped with a Granatbüchse. And other stuff, like the MG42 with 100 rounds. It is always just a good thing to have. The Germans managed to recover the MG42, or was it destroyed? Probably destroyed in all this mess. Gator Sherman is coming up for the Americans. Luke's is trying to take out the 57. Not Luke's, Baby Tiger. But so far his armor is holding up. A few more accurate shots. Yeah, it takes out the crew. Baby Tiger holding up. If its armor holds, it'll be a problem. More German infantry is being prepared for the Panzer Division. More black positions are being established to cover the perimeter. Staff troops are being pushed forwards, alongside some grenadiers to support them. More rifle being pushed forwards, another 57. And the first Sherman arrives on the front line. That'll be a problem for that Baby Tiger, because the Baby Tiger, while quite armored, is only armored in autocannon. 2cm one, I believe. So it's not going to be able to do anything to a Sherman. Of course, you have a pack support back there. Looks like the British is trying to get in position. And they're locked with their 55mm rifles. 55 caliber, I mean. So far, the Baby Tiger's armor is holding up. And as long as the armor holds up, it will be just be a little bit of an issue to deal with. A nuisance, so to speak. Pillbox has been established here, but it needs to be upgraded. So the Germans are going to go and put a point here. But the Americans have set up a 57 and everything. Rain assault going in, but command tank does get destroyed. Good grenade assault though. Clears out the AT gun. Small mortars doing their best to try and keep the Germans pinned. Getting a good shot there in the Hitler Youth. Without any anti-tank equipment now, the Stu can just do some damage. But the Panzerjägers are nearby. Staff Division continues to push up and dig in. Ranger forces trying to push forward, but back stops the Sherman there. Germans have to pull back for repairs. And the Americans on the northern flank have to pull back after the Germans managed to destroy the Stuart with the Panzerjäger. Also an artillery strike coming in. Which actually hits the Panzerjägers. Ow. Scavenging going on here for the Germans, very smart. Gives them 35 fuel for that wreck, which is good. But a good little fight here. And well, there's not been much fighting on the southern flank, which has allowed the British to just dig in and wait. They actually set up mortar pits. Oh, but it gets counter-mortared there by a German mortar. And tried to get a good shot on all the British infantry. And the mortar pit should win in a mortar fight because it's more armored, but you never know sometimes. Germans are digging in again. Noble Blitz also arriving to allow reinforcement at the front line. And we have a mortar bunker going up here, forward observation bunker. We need to SS mechanized. Allows to serve as a very hard to destroy forward operating post. And also has the ability to have like a mortar barrage being called in from a gun on the top. So the Shermans are doing an assault up here with the Rangers. They can take out the Panzerjägers. Yep, they pinned. But we do have Germans on the flank here. Balladum tried to destroy the tracks, didn't work. Baby Tiger's doing a pretty good job, all things considering. That's a seismic charge. Ow! Probably from the Enel troops, but they hit the hedge instead. It happens. Lots of fighting going on up here. But all the autocannons are certainly helping the German defense. Baby Tiger holds up still as a distraction. The pack is taking crew losses. Oh, and a high explosive straight to the front. With that, the Baby Tiger probably has to pull back. We do have an MG42 set inside the pillbox now. It'll be much harder to get rid of. Oh, penetration on the Baby Tiger. Don't think it'll last one more shot. Smoke popped. It's gonna pull back for repairs. The German defense remains up here. They've not taken the point, but the Germans basically have it under control. They're taking it here quickly. So the Brits are going to do an infantry assault on the south. Hang a crumble tank. Smoke being pulled in first. Good to see. Baby Tiger being repaired. Looks like the Tempests have gotten themselves a Panzerbüchse from the ground. And British assault happening down here. Half-track coming in to intercept. But the Brits are all equipped with anti-tank weaponry here. You know it's light. And once the smoke clears, that half-trackers are going to be in trouble. They immediately pull back. We'll allow the Brits to get this point. Another smoke grenade being popped. Reduces off smoke from the Brits. Denying one more point there to them. Until being called here up here the northern fuel. Because it's going to be white phosphorus from the United States. Pretty damn dangerous. And a big artillery strike being called by the Germans as well. Here comes the shells. Oh, that actually did some good damage there to the American infantry. Sherman now has to push without any support. Rocket missed though from the Panzerschreck. We also have staff troops on the flank here. Rangers are dealing with them, but they might not last for long. Actually, the staff troops actually managed to win out somehow. But the Shermans keep pushing up here. Pack cleared out again. Germans are running out of equipment to stop these Shermans. They're quickly allocating packs to that part of the front. Packs are doing their best, even the ones manned by penal troopers here. The Brits are ducking down here, just being a little bit of a nuisance again. As crumble tanks are starting to arrive for the Brits. Building up a little bit of a crumble force down there. More staff troops being pushed forwards. Need to grab the packs. Oh, we have a Sherman up here doing its best, but we have a Panzerwreck here. Oh, Blitz gets taken out. Panzerwreck is taking a while to load and aim. There we go, they got it. Quickly scavenging the truck afterwards. The Germans still try to push up here, but the Americans are already just beyond the smoke. You can see the 50 caliber position here. Let's see Sherman push up here again. Germans are lacking in anti-tank still. But we do have a Panther tank arriving. And the Panther should be able to stop these Shermans pretty reliably. Panzerwreck also got a good shot there. But they dropped the Panzerwreck on the retreat. But the Panther now reveals itself. Now the Shermans are gonna be in big trouble. Overall, the Allies are gonna be in big trouble. They have very few things that can pierce the front armor of a Panther. Panthers are pretty damn well armored on the front. And the staff troops just continue to hold the center here alongside the Mechanisierte. But the Cromwells are gearing up. And once they start moving, they might actually be able to overrun the German positions. This Panther is going to be too focused up here to hold this flank. German officer running alongside his crew here. Panzerwreck grabbed again. And while the staff troops and the Wehrmacht continue to push forwards here. Black guns are able to get some shots into the British positions actually. But can I stop the Cromwells once they start going? Until we're calling here by the Wehrmacht. I think it's by the Lieutenant over here. Panther on the move. Need to be very cautious where they move this thing. If they lose this Panther, that could definitely be a problem. Looks like the Brits are gonna do their push though. Almost preparing to push. Just as the infantry pushes up. Driving over the sandbag walls. I don't think the Germans are prepared for this. They have no anti-tank equipment pointed this direction. But the British infantry got too close to the bases, so the pillboxes did their work. Baby Tiger is trying to do his best to hold them off. We've got an anti-tank raid, a Panzerknacker on this tank, destroying it. Looks like the Germans will be able to hold off. With some losses, obviously. There goes one of the Grenadiers again. Pack is doing his best at range. And Baby Tiger is still alive. Panther tank is also still operating at full capacity. As I said, it's going to be very hard for the Allies to pierce the front of this thing. We do have a tank on the team here with a bazooka, which gets a good shot on it. This forced the Panther back. Popping its smoke canisters. Trench cleared out there. We have a small bunker behind, preventing the Allies from advancing. And both sides just having a little bit of a long drawn-out fight here. And the staff division cannot keep up the attrition rate here for all the replacements, I think. All these weapon crews, but the staff troops are still being pushed forwards. Which is, I suppose, what they're supposed to be. And the American Rangers are just holding up here for now. But the Americans need to do something else, because this Panther is going to just remain as an issue up there. And the Germans really need to focus on more defense for the southern flank, which they are doing now. Yeah, setting up packs and scavenging all the tanks. Good to see. Getting all the extra little resources they can muster. We do have a Hauptmann arriving here for the center front. From the Wehrmacht to keep an eye close to the front line with his pipe. Well, like all these American light mortars too. Not sure how effective they are, but it's nice to just have all the pressure, I guess. Hitting actually straight near the Hauptmann. Hauptmann is going to try and call in an artillery strike. Looks like it's going to be 12 centimeter Granatwerfer. That's going to be some heavy shells. German pushing up now alongside the American infantry somewhat. Rangers leading the way. That's not the easiest way to move up. They're going to grenade the Hauptmann. Oh, killing the Hauptmann, but I think the Hauptmann got his barrage off. Might just have been cancelled in time. Nope, it's going in. That's actually a pretty damn big barrage. Holy shit. We knew the Staff Division's Hauptmann had such a good barrage on him. Looks like the Allies are preparing again alongside the Sherman this time. 76mm cannon. Baby Tiger remains steadfast. Pillbox has seen better days. And the Allied mortars just continuously bombing them. Utilizing the advantage of these small mortars. Being very maneuverable. Oh, main gun the Panther got destroyed. I have been from this anti-tank team again. Panther is a repair still, and looks like the Beats back here is providing that. Looks like the British armor is going to be relocating. They might be planning to push the Panther and getting rid of it. As at least for the Allies, the southern flank has not been threatened, so they're quite comfortable down here. Just being shelled every now and then. A bunch of German mortars as the British mortars fire back. Just a really long artillery fight there in the center. You even had the heavy mortar here from the Staff Division. The Soviet one. The Germans just basically copied it after encountering it. No wonder why though, because it's a pretty damn good mortar as you can see. Fires pretty big shells. Oh, looks like the Panther's on the move. Tiger tank is also being prepared behind this. Now the Panther does not excel at fighting infantry out immediately. It has machine guns obviously, but its main gun is not really intended to fight infantry with. We have the Tiger tank now arriving back here. But Germans still holding on alongside the little baby Tiger in the center. And we also have a 10.5 centimeter howitzer being established now. Germans are really fortifying and digging in with all the equipment. Allies are having issues with... Oh. Long Tom. If this American major can keep this barrage going, or stand still for about 37 more seconds, he's gonna flatten this part of the map with a long-term barrage. I really hope we get to see it, because I don't think we've seen that in a game for a long time. And well, the Panther actually has to pull back. Look, a big shot from something. I think the pack howitzer? No, couldn't be. I think he's gonna manage to pull it off. We might see a long-term barrage flatten this part of the map. Come on, just a little bit more. And coordinates are really... Okay, long-term is coming in. This part of the map is about to get decimated. One shell, two shells. Not the most accurate barrage, but it's doing a lot of work. Killed a lot of units. Jesus Christ. Baby Tiger survived still, but that cleared out a lot of the defenses. And with that, the Allies are doing an assault. British forces being prepared. Coldstream Guards. Allied forces pushing on the Tiger. The Tiger actually has worse frontal armor than the Panther. Panther's got destroyed, so the Tiger's about to be destroyed. Oh god! And the Brits are now pushing forwards. American infantry is pushing as well. Yeah, Allied Axis have lost their means to stop this Allied push. Maybe Tiger might go down. And ammo goes off in the Baby Tiger. British tanks pushes forwards here. Coldstream Guard coming up behind. Basically the premier British mechanized forces. Equipped entirely with American equipment, I believe. So they use M1 Garands rather than the Enfields. So a lot of firepower. But the British tanks are suffering heavy losses. But the push is full on here. The Major is even leading the assault himself. Putting a grid there on the flag, will it be enough? It is. They've overrun the position. The Germans have anything to stop them? I am not sure. They've lost practically everything at this point. And they just pushed through here, but the British tanks have suffered heavy losses. Now they've also opened up for the other Americans to push up on the other flank. They still have to get rid of this strong point though, but they're not being shot at while they're doing it anyway. British did suffer a lot of losses this push, but they have managed to pull through. So I think the Allies are on the road to victory here. Good usage after a long time. As I said, we rarely get to see it. But it's cool when we do. So the Allies just denied a wreck there. Or the vehicle to the Germans as they pull back. We're back at if to advance on the northern flank. The Big Red One is on the move. Panzer 480 has arrived from the reserves. Would be enough though. Pillbox has been taken out. We do have a jumbo tank here, an up-armored Sherman. Probably the most heavily armored vehicle the United States can get in the game. As heavy tanks is not really something the Americans do much in. We do have another Panther arriving as well. Also the Germans managed to pull something out of their reserves. The Sherman is prepared for the British. They've also demo charged the howitzer here if the Germans try to retake it. Ha! Using it a little bit as a trap there. But the Jumbo's gonna have issues fighting with the Panther. Its gun is just not up to scratch here. The oh, smoke canisters in front of the Panther, very smart. Good shot there. Now the loader's injured. We're just gonna make the Shermans not try to advance. Nope, no, never mind. They stay back for a bit as more artillery goes in, just basic 105. Don't think the Germans can keep up this defense. It's been a valiant attempt though, but once that long top strike hit the central front here, they basically lost everything. This Major did a lot of work. Panther tries to duel here, got penetrated by the Jumbo. Oh, he ammo racked the Panther! Oh boy, good job, Jumbo. Hit straight in and just hit the ammo rack. And with that, the Germans have lost faith. Looks like victory is in the hand of the Western Allies. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye bye.